All right, so a fix for migrating fish trying to get past the Hood Canal Bridge coming as soon as next spring. The 60-mile stretch of Hood Canal has some of the most pristine habitat flowing into it for endangered salmon, chum, and steelhead. Q13's Tim Joyce tells us how scientists are pretty optimistic about the possibility of fish populations rebounding and how this could help both the human and orca communities that rely on them.
It's a crucial connection between the Olympic and Kitsap peninsulas. But the 1961 structure is posing some big problems for endangered fish. Data from nonprofit environmental group Long Live the Kings show the fish mortality rate at this single bridge is the same for all of the dams on the Columbia and Snake Rivers combined.
When this bridge was built, we didn't know that steelhead were going to be so drastically affected by it. We didn't know that steelhead migrated at the surface. Now we know that they're in the top, 2 to 3 feet of the water column.
Fish biologist Megan Moore says the pontoons for the bridge go down 3 times deeper into the water column than these endangered young fish typically travel. The fix involves tight underwater netting to steer fish away from right angles on the bridge that create swirling eddies in the water that seem to confuse the young fish.
With currents being one of the main ways that they figure out which way to go. And so when the currents don't go the right way, then they're kind of confused about where the Pacific Ocean is.
The journey for these young endangered fish from their spawning grounds all the way out to the open ocean takes about 10 to 14 days each spring, and a study released last fall by Long Live the Kings showed that it took about 1 or 2 extra days for the fish to get around Hood Canal Bridge, and in the time spent at this location, half of them died.
Have the solutions in the water by spring of 2022.
Lucas Hall with Long Live the Kings says the engineering fix is about $2 to $3 million, which is way cheaper than the billions it would cost to fully replace the Hood Canal Bridge. And research dollars included in the budget could help solve a mystery about how the bridge affects returning fish navigating back to their spawning grounds.
Those are fish that would have otherwise ended up nourishing our forests, contributing to tribal fisheries, contributing to non-tribal fisheries, and to really helping the surrounding community.
The fix would go in early 2022 in time for the outgoing fish run in April. It'd be taken out halfway through to give data with and without the eddy reduction measures.
That's going to give us a really good understanding of making sure that we're spending tax dollars very well.
The fish fix on the bridge would be flipped around to help the adults returning to the spawning grounds in October. And if it worked as planned, it could dramatically increase endangered fish populations that still face other significant concerns.
A lot of the threats that face salmon are beyond our control, especially our immediate control, like climate change or marine conditions out in the ocean. And fixing this bridge is something that we can do to help.
And if this fix works, it means a bridge rebuild to resemble something more like this fish-friendly one in Norway could be put off for decades, saving taxpayers in Washington state billions in the meantime. I'm Tim Joyce, Q13 News.